The wrestling world was left reeling as Dean Ambrose, now famously known as Jon Moxley, finally broke his silence after witnessing one of the most shocking betrayals in WWE history. The Vision faction's ruthless attack on Seth Rollins stunned fans and shook the very foundation of Raw, leaving Rollins bloodied and humiliated. From the shadows of AEW, Moxley watched it all unfold, his mind racing with anger, betrayal, and a burning desire for justice. Tonight, he spoke directly to Paul Heyman, delivering a message so raw, personal, and unrelenting that it sent shockwaves across both WWE and AEW. This wasn't just a promo. It was a declaration, a warning, and a promise that the war for loyalty, honor, and the soul of wrestling had only just begun. Moxley watches from the shadows. While the chaos unfolded on WWE programming, the eyes of the wrestling world were not solely on Raw. Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, had been quietly observing from AEW, far removed from WWE's corporate environment. Moxley, a man who built his legacy on rebellion and unpredictability, had seen the betrayal unfold in real time, witnessing the manipulation and control Heyman exerted over Rollins. The audience learned that Moxley's distance did not diminish his awareness. He understood the psychology and strategy behind Heyman's actions. His unique perspective, combining experience as a former Shield member and an outsider challenging authority, positioned him as a critical voice. This observation period allowed Moxley to assess the situation, plan his response, and choose the exact moment to intervene. His decision to speak was deliberate, calculated, and charged with personal emotion, foreshadowing a message that would ripple across both WWE and AEW. Breaking the silence, Moxley speaks. Finally, Moxley broke his long silence in a video uploaded across all major social media platforms, creating a storm of attention. There were no flashy graphics, no music, just Moxley sitting in a dimly lit room, face half hidden in shadow, eyes burning with intensity. His words were measured but filled with venom, carrying the weight of personal betrayal and professional insight. He directly addressed Paul Heyman, calling out the manipulation of Rollins and the building of a little empire through lies and fear. The raw, unfiltered nature of his message emphasized authenticity, reminding fans of the chaotic energy he brought to WWE during his prime. Moxley's tone, calm yet dangerous, commanded attention. Every pause and glare intensified the threat implicit in his words. This wasn't mere commentary. It was a declaration of war that blurred the lines between promotions and blurred the boundaries of scripted storytelling, signaling a seismic shift in wrestling narratives. A declaration of war. Moxley's words were more than a critique. They were a direct challenge. By declaring, "You want a war? You've got one," he signaled that the conflict would not remain verbal. The phrase, "bringing the whole damn arsenal," hinted at an escalation beyond his solo involvement, creating speculation that former Shield members could reunite. The WWE Universe immediately grasped the magnitude. Moxley was not only defending his former brothers, but also confronting Heyman's empire, which had become a symbol of control and manipulation. Fans reacted instantaneously across social media, dissecting every sentence. This declaration blurred corporate boundaries, implying that AEW and WWE storylines could intertwine in unprecedented ways. It reignited nostalgia for the Shield while introducing a new layer of unpredictability. Moxley's declaration demonstrated that personal loyalty and brotherhood could challenge the structured systems of professional wrestling, reigniting excitement and intrigue for fans worldwide. The Shield's legacy and brotherhood. The Shield was more than a wrestling faction. It represented brotherhood, trust, and collective strength. Moxley's message reminded fans that these bonds could never be fully severed, even by betrayal, contracts, or corporate control. By referencing his history with Rollins and Roman Reigns, he invoked the emotional weight of shared battles, victories, and struggles. This created speculation that the Shield could symbolically or physically reunite, adding depth and stakes to the ongoing WWE narrative. The concept of loyalty transcending brand boundaries resonated deeply with fans, making the conflict feel intensely personal rather than just storyline-driven. The Shield's ethos contrasted sharply with Heyman's manipulative vision, reinforcing the classic good versus evil dynamic, while injecting realism and emotional resonance into the storyline. Fans were reminded that some legacies endure and that past alliances can ignite future wars. Cross-promotional chaos. Moxley's video marked an unprecedented moment. A star from AEW directly addressing WWE storylines. This act blurred traditional company boundaries and brought an unpredictable, real-world tension into scripted wrestling. Fans and analysts speculated about the potential implications, ranging from cameo appearances to full-scale story integration. This cross-promotional element elevated the narrative beyond typical wrestling rivalries, creating a shared universe where actions in one promotion had immediate repercussions in another. Moxley's involvement signaled that narrative control was no longer confined to WWE alone, suggesting an evolving era in wrestling storytelling where characters' histories and personal stakes could transcend corporate boundaries. This added suspense and urgency, giving fans a sense that anything could happen and that the consequences could reshape both promotions. Fan reaction and speculation. The response from fans was immediate and overwhelming. Social media erupted with analysis, memes, and passionate debates. Every word, facial expression, and gesture from Moxley was scrutinized for hidden meaning. The speculation about whether Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins would respond, and whether the Shield could reunite, dominated online discussions. Fans were emotionally invested, not just in Rollins' revenge, but in Moxley's potential return to WWE as a disruptor. Theories spread about AEW and WWE crossover possibilities, creating a new kind of interactive fan engagement. Moxley's message resonated because it tapped into both nostalgia and contemporary intrigue, combining personal history with professional stakes. Audiences felt part of the unfolding story, sensing that their anticipation and reactions could influence how events played out. The stakes for WWE and AEW. The impact of Moxley's message extended beyond individual rivalries. Heyman's Vision faction, WWE's corporate hierarchy, and AEW's presence were all implicated in a high-stakes scenario. The balance of power was shifting, with Rollins' redemption, Reigns' empire building, and Moxley's unpredictability colliding in a story that could redefine wrestling dynamics. This created narrative tension across multiple layers: personal vendettas, faction dominance, and cross-company challenges. The unpredictability of outcomes heightened excitement, making each segment feel like a pivotal chapter in a much larger story. Fans and wrestlers alike were left questioning who would control the narrative moving forward, setting the stage for a dramatic, long-term saga with high emotional and professional stakes. The war has just begun. Moxley's words closed with deliberate silence, a stark contrast to traditional promos, leaving the wrestling world in suspense. The unanswered questions: will Heyman respond? Will Reigns or Rollins take action? Could the Shield reunite? Linger, creating tension that will drive weeks, if not months, of content. His statement established that a conflict spanning promotions, loyalty, and history is unfolding in real time. The WWE Universe, AEW fans, and wrestling insiders are now anticipating each next move, with uncertainty fueling excitement. This moment isn't just a story beat, it's the beginning of a long-term narrative revolution, where unpredictability, brotherhood, and rebellion redefine professional wrestling. Moxley's declaration ensures that the drama, stakes, and fan engagement have reached an entirely new level, signaling a transformative chapter in wrestling history.